Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is December 9th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, we're doing great. It's Victory Monday over here at the Johnson household. I'm just rolling into the week on a high note.
Rug?
The rug.
The 100 Years' War, rug war of our times.
The Bears got trounced. Illinois didn't make the CFP. But we have a rug winner. The rug's down. It's on the ground. The Christmas tree is on top of it. And now all I have, I just have 2 rugs to return. What could go wrong?
Haul those off and send them back. That's good. I'm glad. We're making progress this holiday season. It's all about just chipping away. There you go.
We're onto curtains, you know?
Oh God.
What could go wrong with those? Or blinds. What are they? What's the difference between a blind and a curtain?
Curtains just are like, I think they're just like an accoutrement on the outside, right? They frame the window. Whereas I think blinds, maybe I might have this wrong. I don't know where drapes come in. I don't know. Don't fact check me on this.
What's a drape?
I don't know. Shutters. I'm not sure. Blinds, I think, cover the window. Whereas curtains and drapes go around the outside of it. I think that's my guess. All right, so you're on to that. That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I had a 5-year-old birthday party today. Not my own. My own kids had a birthday today and tomorrow. It's just tough. Bad situation. It's fine. It's happy. I'm happy for the kids. They had the great day. It's just a lot in December. But these people, look, I'm like, it's like college. Like I don't take shots anymore or something. I don't take shots of alcohol, liquor. I don't play pickup basketball anymore. I don't do this parent stay birthday party anymore. I'm done. That's not part of my life.
Drop them off.
This is the drop off part. I did that. I've got an 11-year-old. I don't do drop offs anymore. This is not. I don't do stay. I don't stay. I don't stay. I throw the kid out the door and run away and get the hell out. Well, this was not. Adults had to be supervised, parental supervision. I was on duty. Is that one of these little indoor playground things that just rife with disease and germs? And it was at the freaking mall on a Sunday in December. I was like, the worst possible place you want to go on a weekend in December. At the mall, and the thing just would not end. They kept adding, no, it actually ends. I was there for like 3.5 hours, it felt like. But great party. My daughter was happy. So that honestly took the piss out of me. It felt like I like walked 36 holes after that thing. I just don't do that anymore. I don't do the stay and make the small chat with the other parents stuff.
I gotta say, my afternoon was like completely different than yours because my daughter and wife, my daughter got invited to a play date. And like a lot of these play dates are like couples play date. Like, my wife's like, you didn't get invited. And I was like, really? I'm like, that's
wonderful.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
It's like, that's fantastic. I literally sat at home and watched football. I couldn't believe it.
That's great. Yeah.
I watched a little of the Hero, a little football. Got the tree up, acted like I did like, you know, the ancillary stuff around the house where it looks like you did stuff, but you really didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know that deal well.
I'm lucky that my wife doesn't listen to this podcast.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Are you hollering about Illinois? You want to get really worked up? I mean,
no.
You should, like, you know, the commissioner of the SEC and the AD of Alabama. They're like bringing all these. You should be the voice of Illinois, also throwing out your lament and how the system's corrupt. They did not put the 12 best teams in because Illinois is not. You should be the voice that brings that to light, that injustice to light. Instead of we have to hear about the SEC too much.
I really think they could have beaten Penn State, Illinois. They had that ball down on the goal line and they didn't score at half. They would have won that game if they had scored there.
It's like 3 months ago. I know. You're going to the Citrus to play South Carolina.
We got the Cox. Maybe it'll be on the cock.
You're going up against the Bryan brothers. So South Carolina's own, right? Bryan brothers. That'll be good.
Beamer ball. Good. He was on the whatever SEC network.
He's shouting about stuff too.
Hollering.
I mean, they're good. I like South Carolina. I like it.
I think they should have been in over Alabama.
I think it's a fair point. PJ, where are you guys going? Syracuse.
We are going to San Diego to play Wazoo in the Holiday Bowl, I believe it is.
Wow, hey. You're you're in Western New York in December, getting the San Diego trip. That's a win.
People are saying we got jammed we had to go to the West Coast twice this year. We played at Cal and at UNLV. So we were hoping for the Florida trip to not have to go across the country again. But somehow Duke jumped us for the Gator Bowl, which doesn't make any sense. But
it's probably because they'll draw better.
I don't think maybe. I feel like Syracuse is a pretty significant, New York's team. And all this stuff.
I would have liked to go, but I'm happy for the program that it's not the Pinstripe Bowl, which is where you're going.
Oh, we only go to baseball stadiums. We did the Fenway Bowl last year, and now we're in the
Pinstripe Bowl in Detroit.
We've been in the Pinstripe Bowl like 4 times.
Yankees.
And if we went 9-3, just to go back to the Pinstripe Bowl, where we usually go 6-6, I would have been very angry. So I'm happy.
The last time BC was in the Pinstripe Bowl, they had to wear tennis shoes, because the field was so shitty and it was so cold.
It's hard as a rock.
They're just wearing straight up. They all had to change into just like the sneakers they came on the bus with. All right, that's Swag Sports Minute. We got 12 days of swag going on. This is swag.golf. New item every day. Could be a putter, could be a clothing item, could be a head cover. These head covers are hot, really popular. Their putters are sick. They're amazing.
We do those for events.
That's a
now. It's
freaking winner's gift.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. You go swag.golf. They have 12 days of Christmas going on. Do I have to say anything more about that, PJ? Am I missing any key details? I think I got it. Swag.golf. They've been supporting Sports Minute here throughout the fall. All right, let's get to the golf, shall we?
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler wins.
What a nice little tournament to have on this week.
I would agree. You love the hero. Explain your love for the hero.
Actually, I thought about this deeply today. Why do I like this tournament so much? I always like this tournament.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
What?
Scarcity. It's like I haven't seen these guys in a couple months. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is nice. All the best players, a lot of the best players in the world are playing down here. It's like there's nothing going on really of major consequence. You can watch it. One of the things I love now is I just watch weekday and like Saturday golf on tape delay.
Mm-hmm.
I just watch it at night.
Mm-hmm.
It's delightful. I think the golf. I don't think this is like an architectural wonder, but I think it's like a pretty decent golf course for pro golf because. Like there's enough space. Like if you drive it well, you're gonna get rewarded. And then like the native areas are just so hit or miss. Like I love the lies these guys get when they get off the fairway. Like sometimes it's perfect. Sometimes it's just like, oh, it's in a footprint. That sucks. But
Tom
they have
Kim
to play
had a
it.
bad one. I was surprised he didn't start breaking all his clubs and throwing his bag in the beach. But yeah, there were some bad ones. So that is interesting. You see it every year.
Yeah, I like this golf course. And then the winners, you can't. How about the winner list? You get 20 of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
You just have only 20 guys there. You guaranteed a good winner list.
Yeah. I did like Cara Banks saying to Scotty, it's like, you join illustrious company like Victor Hovland and somebody else. Maybe Tiger is the only multiple time winners of the hero, then Target World Challenge. It's been a couple different events. But yeah, he was like, how about that? It is a great winners list. This field by hero standards wasn't its best. Scotty was kind of the main guy, the main dude who showed up. But you're not without quote unquote some star power, JT and Cantlay and a few others. So it was good. How about my call of Jason Day, my pick to click coming in DFL? We're off season for Gambling Pod. I gotta get that
Dunlap?
together.
He's just nowhere to be found after the opening round.
Yeah, I mean,
first time around.
It's a vacation for some of these guys too. It's like validation of their year. I don't know. Let's get to the winner. He didn't need any validation. Scotty Scheffler wins by 6. I watched this on tape till after I got home from my little kid's birthday party afternoon. It is just it was a delight. It's a delight to watch him play golf. That's not exactly the most profound statement. It's just really exciting as a golf fan, as someone who likes the actual golf, maybe doesn't need the guy to be a villain or a guy to be a superhero or a guy to be fist pumping or a guy to double bird the crowd or whatever. Like, as a guy who likes to watch the golf, and I know sometimes people jam them for, tamping a thing down here or there, but like, as a guy who likes to watch, it is just so, even at a sleepy event with minimal consequence on a course that's it's fine. You like it a little bit. It's just such a pleasure to watch him hit the shots. And I think that's all we can ask for. I think that's all we want. And it was awesome. He was the best round of the day by 4 shots. He gained, it's 20 guys in the field. I think in the round, he gained 7.5 shots in the round. This wasn't like a total low 60s fest on Sunday. He shot 63, bombed in a 47-foot putt that he gained 2.5 shots on the green. That's a significant contributor to that. Lag putting was incredible. His best shots, like the stuff I'm talking about, that's just feels like arousing to watch as a golf fan. We're like 2 4-irons, I thought. It's funny, like the 8th hole, this 204-yard par 3, windy. There was some wind today. Kind of jammed JT a couple times. Mm-hmm. And Smiley sets it up like this is the hardest shot these guys will face today, I think. And he just cuts a nice little, he didn't make a birdie, cuts a nice little 4-iron in there. That is outrageously good. They have no idea how good that is. And then he does it again at 16 from the native. Hits a 4-iron 210 to 10 feet and makes the birdie. Finishes it with another one at 18. It was awesome. It's good to watch, even in an event that quote unquote doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, he's incredible. He didn't really have his best stuff on Saturday. But it's like one of those things where JT and this is the way golf works a lot of times. JT and Tom Kim made everything, and they cooled off and the best player just won. I mean, he 9 wins on the year. This one, I figured I kind of say he has 8 wins, half a win for the FedEx Cup, half a win for this, so 8 wins.
Come on.
The FedEx Cup, he didn't even win.
That's true. Who won that? Who won low gross?
God, who was it? Was it Henley? Henley played well, right?
Man, maybe. All I think about when we say that is Xander. It's just my default answer, but I know it wasn't him.
It was not Xander.
I thought it was Morikawa.
Could have been Morikawa.
I think that's what it was.
Wasn't Henley in the top 4 too?
Yeah, Henley played really well.
Yeah, Henley was T4.
God, okay, so you give him.
Look, you go to the FedEx Cup, and Henley finished tied for 4th on the season with Xander Schauffele. They had the same year, same year. So ridiculous. But I gotta say, the thing that I took away from this week, he looked really, really comfortable on short putts with that saw. Or the claw, whatever. I don't even know the difference.
They didn't know what to
between
say.
the saw and the claw is.
And they didn't either. I don't think they gave it a definitive term. It's somewhere between.
Can we call it the slaw?
So, sure, let's do that.
Coleslaw. The slaw.
Yeah, he looked good.
Anyways, he looked really
putts.
good. He led the field in inside 10 feet. But more importantly, just how he looked over the putt looked really comfortable. And that would be really scary if I was somebody that plays against Scottie Scheffler. Luckily, I don't. But he would be like, he's a really good lag putter. I think he's a pretty good putter from like 15 feet and out.
Yeah.
If he becomes like a competent inside 10-foot putter, I mean, he might win like 12 times next year.
Yeah, I know, like, at some point the music needs to stop, but I don't know that it is.
What do you think's going to stop? Like, that's like, my question is like, what's going to stop?
I don't know. I mean, like, VJ doesn't keep it up forever. Like, but yes, I'm not betting against it.
Like, he's extraordinary off the tee. He's the best, if not the second best iron player in the world. He's one of the 3 best players around the green. If he just gets to average putting, he's going to win 10 tournaments a year.
Just to put a bow on his year, this was succinctly written by, I think Joel Beal had this. He won 9 times, a feat only Tiger and VJ have accomplished in the modern era. His year was highlighted by a second Masters and the first to successfully defend the Players. His 5 other victories came at signature events: Bay Hill, Harbor Town, Memorial, Travelers, and Tour Championship, which wrapped up his FedEx Cup. He also won the gold medal at the Olympics. He was first on tour in scoring and strokes gained and posted 16 top 10 finishes in 19 starts. Just an absolute monster. One of the great years we will ever see. And today was just a real kind of apropos finish to it. And I don't know, he's hitting it longer. I guess, like, as we talked about in the past, what is the effect that you're talking about 12 times? How many times is he going to win? Or is he just, when guys are just waiting, hoping it stops? The effect that it starts to have on the other players, man, they put a graphic up in the middle of the round, NBC did, about rounds that Justin Thomas has played in the same group with Scotty Scheffler, and Scotty's beaten him, I think, in every single one but one. And it looked like often it was 3 or 4 or 5 shots better. And the total was, I want to say, like somewhere 9 to 12 rounds. And Scotty's won every single, not one, but shot better. And so what is that impact that it starts to have mentally on the other guys? And
I think, like, just thinking out loud, how many players, if they're in the final group with Scottie Scheffler, how many players feel like they could win with their B game?
I don't know. The one thing I've been thinking about a lot tonight is Justin Thomas is not, like, that's just done and settled.
He has to play great to win.
He has to play great, but we're now at the level where some of the lift and separation from the top 10 guys in the world has to feel a little dispiriting, and I don't want to say intimidating, but mentally there's a weight there, I would think, even for people like a Rahm, a Brooks, a Rory, a Bryson. I'm not suggesting they're intimidating or don't think they can beat those guys.
I think that's the list of the guys that feel like they could win with their B game.
That seems fair. Yeah, that seems right.
Xander in there too.
Xander as well. Yeah.
And then, like, anybody else, though, feels like they probably have to play perfect, because you go into this, like, depending on where it is, obviously, but, like, it's like, okay, like, what's Scotty, like, you know, he had that crazy under par rounds streak, right?
Yeah.
60 rounds in the 60s or whatever it was this year.
I think it was like 26 of 26
what's
first.
Like, his bad round, it's like, if he plays bad, he's going to shoot 68. It feels like, you know, like, and for somebody like JT or Tom Kim, and I was, like, super impressed with JT. I do want to talk about that, but, like, take Tom Kim, right? You can't hit it past him. You're a way worse iron player than him, and Tom Kim's a good iron player.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are you getting out of that? Like, I think, like, when I think about, like, Rory, it's like, at least Rory or Xander and Rory are going to hit it 20, 30 past him regularly. And it's like, okay, like, he's unbelievable with and I'm thinking of like big boy golf courses here. He's unbelievable with a 7-iron, but I'm going to have like 9 irons and wedges where he has longer clubs. And like he does have more gas. Like this is kind of that what we saw with Morikawa. Morikawa just got like beat by Scheffler a ton this year.
Repeatedly.
In high leverage Sunday rounds. And it's like, oh, he hits it past me and he's a better iron player than me. And I'm like probably one of the 5 best iron players in the world. Like I just like if you don't hit it past Scotty, I don't know how you really beat him. Like at any consistency.
There's a day here that because it's golf, you might. But yes, certainly not with any consistency. And it seems like consistently you're not. Very consistently.
Yeah.
high level.
Like the only way you can get, I think, on him is if you are out in front of him and you are mitigating some of his like extraordinary iron play, which it just like it doesn't seem like he ever has bad days.
There's a mental weight to it. There was a moment today, I think it was the shot at 16, the 4-iron reference, where he like carved it from the native, just dropped it on top 10 feet. And Smiley was like that, and JT's farther than him in the fairway. And Smiley was like, that's like one where you're like, geez, like, God, what the hell? Like, come on. That like bugs you. Like, you notice it and it gets to you. And that's just Smiley. Smiley was a tour pro. He's not Brooks or Bryson. And then Bones, like, unquestionably, that like just eats at you when you see that happen. And so this is this like compounding effect that he's having on guys over seasons doing that. So, you want to talk about JT?
I thought the speed.
Yeah,
he was
cranking.
I mean, that's a whole new dimension to him. I just like, so JT's one of the best short iron wedge players on tour. And the speed gain, I mean, he was murdering the ball. And I just think like when you zoom out, what does this do? Well, it gets like 4 to 8 more wedges in his hands every single tournament. Mm-hmm. And it just is a total matchup of strength on strength, right? If you can do that for JT, that is he's going to have a very good year if he could continue to hit the ball as hard as he's hitting it this week.
Was it 14? He drove the green, I think.
I mean, he was hitting some drives like 370.
Yeah.
Like you saw the ball speeds up into the 180s. Yeah, it's super encouraging. I do think like, I mean, it's just crazy how Bryson kind of proved like it was this belief that like, don't go chasing speed. That's going to be bad for your game. And I think Bryson was one of the first ones and probably the most high profile. Justin Rose did a gradual speed chase or speed gain over, that really set up like the best part of his career. But like it always was like, you can't go chase speed. And it's crazy now. It's just like, yeah, like all these guys can just go get speed. And to me at this point, if you're a big time player, like I think there's a certain speed level where it becomes a little bit harder to control, but like you should be doing this because it doesn't seem like there have been many bad experiences chasing speed lately. And I just think a lot of it, I think the forgiveness of the driver's gotten a lot better the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. And it used to be like the reason you might not want to chase speed is that it hinders your strike, right? You de-emphasize, like you might start to strike it a little bit less center. Mm-hmm. But I think with the way that modern drivers have matched up, and I mean I see it with my driver, You just don't have to hit it on the center very much. Like it's great when you do. Like it's obviously the best way to hit it, but it's way more important to pick up 5 more miles an hour because like that 5 miles an hour isn't like if you're 10% less accurate with your strike, it's not gonna hurt you that much. And I think speed's just like kind of a commodity now. And it's just a matter of the guys who goes to the gym and does the work. And I don't want to sound like this is, but like we haven't seen any like disasters with speed training lately.
No, I
agree. Or have they just gotten so good at training it that it doesn't matter? I personally just think the forgiveness of the driver's gotten to that. Like it used to be like you can't go at the driver that hard because if you miss it, it's going to lead to like big numbers. Now it feels like you just can't miss it.
Yeah. I think I'm not suggesting it's all skill. There is some skill though still to be like some of it's the work, some of it's the training. Like yeah, it's de-emphasized the skill, but to be the best at doing it is a skill, or to be the far and away the best. But yes, like you said, it is a commodity that can be, I don't know if purchased is a word, but acquired in a way. JT, good week. A couple duff chips, had some misjudged the wind, airmailed the green here and there. Wind got him on a couple, he said, but good week. Speaking of your speed thing, Tiger in the booth, it was pretty interesting listening to talk about like they kept showing the footwork of those guys. Like, oh, and it was my day. Like Scotty's obviously flying around and JT's like one toes down, one heels up. He's turning and he's burning. To hear Tiger talk about it, like, no, was my day is like the K and the reverse C, and that was it. And I had like a baseball swing. They had to like coach out of me with my feet. They basically tried to take that out of me because I had baseball. And some of that's like the speed you're talking about. It's just like go, burn.
Well, that goes to the Scott Simpson quote that we just did in your review. When the driver's 460 cc's and has that MOIs that it has now, it's just like, I mean, you can do kind of whatever you want, just hit it hard. Like,
right.
I mean, it's the way kids are learning how to play the game now. It's like teach them speed first and then worry about everything else later.
Tiger was not bad in the booth when they get them into that and talking about the spinnier ball. He's like, when I always wanted the spinnier ball because then you can take it off. You can take some off of it. Now it's just that's like less of a priority, or that's not the game anymore. Just get him talking about the swing, get him talking about equipment. He's seen every era of golf, really, and multiple equipment and training and skills. And it was just, he was interested. He was, when they got him actually talking about some of that stuff, it was not bad. The cliches like get funny though. They ask him like, you know a thing or two about making a putt here. Like, have you ever won this tournament? They just throw that out all the time. I believe you won a few of these in your time. You ever win a Ryder Cup match? Like they just throw that out all the time throughout the broadcast. Like, yeah, we know Tiger's won some things in his life, but they always throw it out there.
Part of it's the person that was leading the broadcast too. It's just a walking cliche.
I like
it. Hey, we were talking about speed. You know what helps speed?
What's that?
A good glove.
A good glove.
You gotta have
a good grip.
Gotta feel confident with your grip. If you wanna go and acquire some speed. If you want to go purchase speed, as you would say. If you want to be a speed merchant, the first thing you should do is check your grip. And let me tell you who's making the best grips that I've had lately. Red Rooster.
You go to redroostergolf.com. They got a BOGO deal. You buy one glove.
It's not a BOGO. It's not a true BOGO.
I know these time points kind of walk us. We're already idiots enough. Buy one glove, you get the second 50% off. It says, wake up your gift game with this holiday. I think that's a play on the rooster. The cockadoodle do, waking you up. Wake up your gift game. You get the second with our 50 fried 50fried is the code. No spaces there. You buy one glove, you get the second 50% off. Little stocking stuffer for gifting premium gloves. That's always a late curveball. I hate that. You've already done the work about getting gifts, and you got to figure out like a more niche class of gift. That's the stocking stuffer. Like, what the hell is that all about? So glove feels like a good one
too. The stocking ends up being expensive as shit.
$200, it could be. Yeah. So that's a good point. It's a nice little stocking stuffer. If you're using your 50 fried, you get 50% off the second one. And their gloves, they're durable, hassle-free returns and exchanges. You order by December 13th. So you got this week, December 13th, you will get your gifts in time for the holidays. Red Rooster's gloves are known for exceptional durability, fit, performance. They're a top choice golfers of all levels. Go to redroostergolf.com. And again, use that promo code 50fried. Any other cleanup you want to do on the Hero World Challenge? Do we have enough on that, or any insights or people that alarmed you? All right, Tom Kim.
I want to talk about our guy Potgieter.
Aldrich Potgieter, burly boy extraordinaire, going to win his home major, Africa's major. He's got a one-shot lead going into Sunday. He's up more than that, I believe, during the round. Gets to 12. Johannes Veerman wins the Nedbank. Homa does not defend. Veerman wins it. But Potgieter's cruising. Everybody's fired up. The burly boy is going to walk into it. And he gets to 12. And I watched this whole sequence. Andy, I don't think I've ever seen a professional golfer play a worse hole. Play a worse in one contained hole. Play worse and look kind of like somebody I would be caddying for at the country club who's got an index of 6 or something.
6?
10, 12, 15. Yeah, 6 wouldn't do this.
I've never seen 20. This. It played like a 20.
Guys,
you're thinking about
tournament.
Like the worst hole you could possibly play. Yeah, this was horrible. This is a nondescript par 3 with no trouble that he made a quad on. Or triple.
It kept getting worse. I couldn't believe it. Tee shot's 30 yards short.
You gotta watch this. Everybody needs to watch this. PJ, can we cut this all in here?
For what? The
for
Instagram
social.
Camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure, like I'm trying to think of Mito Pereira at Southern, but it's not the one shank. It is the tee shot that's 30 yards short, which is like the 20 handicap's just wailing. I'm going to throw it somewhere in that direction.
I can't believe he finished left of it and 20 yards short.
30,
like
30.
Like usually that's like a right shot. Usually that's a weak right one.
Yes.
I cannot believe it was 30 yards short. 20 to 30 yards short on the left.
Blade's a bunker shot off the TV tower. Gets lucky. It hits the TV tower.
Terrible shot, but honestly, probably the least egregious shot of all of them.
He had to carry a lot of the bunker to get it on the green. I don't know. I'm just trying to like think about it as a 15. Then he blades that off the TV tower, flubs the chip, like horribly flubs the chip.
In my book, worst shot of all of them.
Okay.
This was a horrendous shot. Like
so
you cannot do that there. At that point in the tournament, where you're at in the tournament, you cannot afford to not hit that shot on the green. Any self-respecting professional would get that ball on the green. At that point, you have to walk out of there with no worse than a double.
So now he's still not on the green. He kind of hits the next one like a rocket ball, like 15 feet past.
Objectionably awful shot.
So he's done this blade. He's done the flub. He's just kind of, at that point, just get me on the green anywhere. And now he's playing for double, and he just like, he taps it. Not even close. It was every variety of, it was like, this guy is a good player. Leading the tournament, just turned his brain off on how to play golf. I've never seen this. It's just, it wasn't like the same kind of shot, like he got all of a sudden had the chip yips. It was just a variety of this guy can't play golf. I've never seen that before. And he had still a putt on 18 to make the playoff, and it burned the edge. He just missed. And the locals were bothered, frustrated, were kind of let down, all excited for him. I've not seen this. Is there something that jumps to mind where like a guy just looks like he's not a pro golfer for a moment in time? I'm talking more than just a shank or a shot.
I mean, sure, it happens. Like, this is what's crazy is he was leading the tournament.
Yeah.
It's not the guy that shot 81 on Thursday and just didn't have it this week. Like, that happens. It's not the guy that's, it's Friday afternoon and he's 17 off the cut line and he's just going through the motions.
Yep. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. Or it wasn't like a ball that got plugged and he just got caught and took 3 to get out of a bunker. It was unbelievable.
I don't think I've ever seen a pro hit 5 consecutive shots as bad as those 5 shots. Like, he obviously had the tap in for the 6. Those were 5 of the worst consecutive shots I've ever seen a tour pro in contention hit.
We loved the Burley boy. Such a shame. Thought he was on his way to another win, but playing well.
He's a talent. He might be just like a speed merchant, though. He might not be. He hits it forever.
Yeah, gets through it. Puts his belly behind it.
Big boy.
Yes. All right, that's your Nedbank DP World Tour. Congrats to Johannes Veerman. He
one
wins.
of our great shipmen.
He's a
sailor.
Name translates to like, I don't know, ferryman or something like that. The Saudi International, Joaquin Niemann beats Cam Smith and Caleb Surratt. This was not on TV. In a playoff, kind of flops a shot to 12 inches, wins on the second playoff hole, a $5 million purse, wins $1 million. Congrats. Niemann is just like, he is a menace in Saudi. He won Jeddah at the start of the year, and now this was at Riyadh Golf Club. He's just cleaning up in Saudi Arabia. That's his spot, Joaquin Niemann. He's won a lot of other places too, but he likes to win over there. Surratt, these young guys, this isn't to suggest who's the guy, James Pyatt or Turk Pettit or anything like that. Surratt's playing well, though. He's playing well. He's I think this international series, he was T3, second place in Morocco. And then now he loses in a playoff to Niemann and Cam Smith. So he's swimming with the sharks and doing all right in some of these international series events. Caleb Surratt might have a little bit of staying power. That's all I got on the Saudi International, though.
How about Thomas Peters? Gets that range goat stink off him. He's already playing. He's already looks like a slam dunk for the LIV for the Aces here.
I mean, he's a very talented player, good player. Would love to see him.
Are you starting the DJ GM of the year, executive of the year conversations already? Getting Thomas Peters for absorbing cap space?
Just for cash considerations. Well, yeah. I mean, I want to know who they were negotiating with, because the Goats don't even have a captain. They relegated. The players chose to relegate him.
Is he on
I think this is like
tour?
the under talked about story.
Oh,
is that the captain? I'm serious. The captain of the team can be saved by the players.
And they said no.
And they relegated him.
Well, yeah. Is he not on the team? Is he not on LIV? He's on LIV.
I think he's gone. Maybe he's just gonna be a broadcaster. He's gonna be hanging with Sue Ann.
I could see that.
I wonder what Arlo's thinking about the Bears.
What happened to the Bears? They got smoked by the 49ers, who everyone thought. The new coach.
They had 2 yards at half. 2 yards. They were outgained like 330-2.
I mean, the 49ers have not been very good.
The Bears are a disaster.
They got right.
I think this is just.
Bears.
Do you think this is because Thomas Brown was on field level today and couldn't see the defensive substitutions from the eye in the sky?
No, I think it's because our offensive line is not good, and our team is in complete flux.
Rome showed up. Rome showed up for the first time all year.
I want to talk about the Jets.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the Jets.
They had some soul-crushing loss, or not soul, but
what is soul-crushing?
Yeah, I guess
they don't
there's
have
no
a soul
left anymore. But what happened? They had
None
they
of our
found a
teams
way to
have
lose.
A soul.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Devontae Adams went out of bounds. They were in field goal range. He catches a third down to get into field goal range. And he chooses willingly to go out of bounds with like 1:09 left, I think it was. So instead of running the clock down to like 20 seconds for the Miami ensuing game-tying field goal drive, they kick it with like 1:09. So Tua just drives right down the field, kicks the game-tying field goal as time expires, and then they win the toss, and the Jets don't touch the ball. So, as one does. It's actually great. However,
burn it all down.
Everyone's favorite stat, Aaron Rodgers had over 300 yards in a game for the first time in 4 years or whatever it was. So,
oh God,
we might be back.
That's your guy. Your guy, Aaron Rodgers.
Player.
That is my guy. Listen,
is he going to come back?
I don't know.
I don't think he can do that.
Where would he go though?
I don't really know if it's up to them.
What? He's got holding them hostage?
Yeah, I mean, what I don't know. I don't know.
You guys are gonna end up like 4-13.
They're gonna win exactly enough games to pick 8th. Whatever it has to be.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah. News, Greg Norman acknowledges that he's going to be replaced. This was in a local Indianapolis TV station. We were getting photos and texts from people inside this like club meeting where he had to go to Indianapolis in December. I guess it was like 5 degrees and Norman's presenting at some golf club about LIV, the Chatham, I think it was the Chatham Hills. And he did a local TV in Indy. Yes, there will be a new CEO. I'm fine with that. Will I always have a place and be involved with LIV in some capacity? Yes, I'll always have that. Because the impact that has been created in the game of golf by LIV, I've had a small piece of that, which I'm proud of. It's kind of like meandering logic. Like, I will be involved, but yes, I'll always have that because we created some impact. I don't know. It's very ambiguous. He does, though, acknowledge that he's going to be replaced or may not be the guy next year. Other news, Waste Management, Phoenix Open, issues like a new behavior policy. But this doesn't mean anything. These are just words. It's nothing concrete. They said there will be a zero tolerance policy, which what does that mean?
On what?
For, quote, unruly behavior.
Oh.
What's unruly? Fans will be required to acknowledge a code of conduct with their ticket purchase. Like, what's unruly? Is it urinating yourself while falling off a 3-story deck? Is it fighting? I would think that counts. Is it running on the course? Sure. I don't. What's the zero tolerance? It's the most ambiguous. It's just words. I don't know what everything's unruly there. It's the whole deal is to be unruly. So that's the new policy there. I guess it's just, and then they got to enforce it. They got to pay these guys to just. What are they throwing everybody out for? Are they throwing guys out for cursing? Are they yelling? Like, it just, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the one enforcing that. Last but not least, on news, a guy, Anthony Quayle at Australia.
7-shot penalty.
Thought they were preferred lies around the course. I guess it was just one spot on 3, one fairway. And so they had to like talk it through, like how many times they pick it up. Where did I place it in the original spot? So he wound up having 7 shots added to his score, 73 instead of a 66. That's not nothing. So there was 2-shot penalties for the time it was lifted, but then played from the wrong place, and then a 1-shot penalty when he put it back in like the precise spot. So that just had to be a Herculean effort to, I know, just going through that in the fairway, trying to remember all that. And he was playing with Tyler McCumber, who had done the same thing. But he was only hit 2 shots. I think was also, misunderstood on the preferred lies. So that's your news. And I think that's your Monday episode. You got anything else you want to throw out there? for us.
I wanted to see what you thought about the CFP.
I mean, it seems pretty messy. It feels like the number one team in the country has an infinitely harder side of the bracket than the number two, because they have these like inflexible seeding things that they got to do. Like Boise and Arizona State get buys, and that just doesn't seem. So now you have Georgia. They're all very fine college football teams to make it, but the number one team has Ohio State, Texas, Tennessee, all on their side of the draw. And so the seeding seems out of whack. Doesn't make a lot of sense. SMU is in. SMU gets in by just losing close, battling back against Clemson.
That's the thing. They were, if Clemson didn't melt down, they would have been out.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game last night.
Was it fun? I was happy.
What did you think
I was
of the
happy for
CFP?
my Clemson friends.
What did you think of the CFP?
I mean, I think this bye thing is a disaster. It should just go to the 4 best teams.
Like Texas should probably have a bye.
I don't know. Who have they beaten?
They beat the piss out of Texas A&M. I don't know. They're good, right? I mean, but yeah,
I think that's like the crazy thing when you go to from 4 didn't feel like enough, but it was like probably the right amount, because then you get here and it's like you either have teams that have really good wins and some bad losses, or teams that have won nothing and minimal losses.
Yeah. And I kind of I know the bowls they got to sell bowls and all that stuff, but it's weird that the first round you get a home game bowls. And then the second, but the guys with the bye, I know a bye is probably more valuable than having a home game, but it feels like Ohio State has a home game, they win, they should have to go to Eugene and play and not a neutral site bowl. It feels like you should have 2 rounds of home games and then the semis and the finals are bowl games. You know what I mean? Being a top seed, you don't get the full benefit of the home game.
God, it'd be awesome if there was a home game in Boise. Right.
But instead it's going to be whatever it is, the Fiesta Bowl or one of those. I don't know.
Are we sure that Boise's not good? Their only loss was by 3 to Oregon.
Yeah.
And that was at Oregon, right?
Yes. PJ,
what do you
where
think,
you land?
PJ?
Come on.
I think this whole thing is pretty stupid. I think 12 is too many teams. I think we have jumped the shark in an
8
effort.
Was the right number, right?
I think 8, or if even you wanted to talk me into 6 and just give the top 2 a bye, I think we could have done that. But this is Penn State arguably has the easiest draw out of anybody here.
Yeah.
And they literally, no offense to Illinois, but their only win is Illinois.
Oh, come on here. They beat the number 20 team in the CFP.
And
we may never finish higher than 20th in the CFP.
Well, we're right behind you. So I don't know. Texas and Syracuse. This is the fun fact that I'm going to keep peddling. Texas and Syracuse are tied with the most wins among bowl eligible teams in the entire country. They've both beaten 8 bowl eligible teams.
What a random fact.
So,
6 and 6
if you're above 500, it's Texas and Syracuse are the 2 best teams in the country. It's a fact.
That's good. Yeah, it's got a lot of people talking though. I think it's interesting. Everybody's interested by it.
I will say that what the 12 does is it leads to a lot of awesome games from basically week 6 on.
Yeah.
It's the regular season's so much better than it was before.
And now you get to see great players play big games in December. They're not resting or taking it off. These are going to be big games. I don't know. My favorite part of the whole thing was the shots of the committee room. The guys just the feet up, reclining. This is such a preposterous thing. And then someone asked, or someone tweeted, I think it was no wings, no beer, snacks. They don't know what they're doing. And someone corrected the record, and tweeted there's a whole whiteboard of their entire snacks schedule. All the breakfast foods, Nacho bar starts at like 1. Fresh popcorn pop from 1 to 8. Like, it's just ridiculous. These guys are just sitting around in recliners and they decide the whole deal. And that's it.
It's insane.
It's amusing.
Yeah.
It's amusing. PJ, do you have a pick? You're a gambling expert. Feels like Georgia's kind of sitting nicely.
I think Georgia.
What's going on with their quarterback?
Though? I don't know if Carson Beck.
I think the other guy might be better.
Kid might be better. I was going to say if Sark has the balls to just go to Arch.
Oh, you're calling out Sark.
I think Texas would win. I think Texas is the best team in the country if Arch is the quarterback.
What's crazy to me is that both those guys, Ewers and Beck, were like, they're like this. These guys are the number 1 pick of the draft, and now it's like, are they even the best quarterbacks on their team?
No.
Does Ryan Day have to beat Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Georgia in consecutive weeks, or he doesn't lose his job, or he doesn't keep his job?
That's a terrible
insane.
draw.
Tennessee, Oregon,
hey,
presumably Texas, and maybe Georgia. All right.
Can I just say that I think too many teams have gone to while we're on college football minute here. Too many teams are doing the light thing when they score a touchdown.
Terrible. Oh, it's terrible.
There's so many of them. It was cool when there was like 1.
They all do it.
Yeah, they all, like every SEC school does it now. It's like, come up with your own little thing, but just don't turn the lights off.
It's like BC does it. I think like Duke, Notre Dame, they all do it. It's not just us. It's terrible.
Do you think Notre Dame's going to continue their legacy in college football playoff? Just get the doors blown. This is one as a non-Notre Dame fan from Chicago. Like one of my favorite annual traditions. I always love just like popping open a beer in the second half of Notre Dame just getting smoked.
I mean, they really haven't beaten anyone either. That's
everybody's win is A&M.
I know.
I think Notre Dame might be decent, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad, but
I think they might be pretty good.
Yeah, their coach is the Bears candidate.
Really?
That's what they say. They think it's all just Chicago smoke. You know.
Well, he's going to get the Ohio State job if he doesn't get the Bears job. So,
did he go to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played there.
He's like a good player.
Yeah, he's good. I think he's from Huber Heights, Wayne, or one of those down south. Okay. Anything else? Like CFP minute? Fun. It's going to be an exciting month. We are back.
Soren Kelshin advances.
I mean, this wasn't news. You knew this was going to happen.
I'm just saying. Hey, I feel like we have to put it out there.
Have you rewatched the 2016 Masters yet?
No,
PJ?
I haven't yet. It's on my list. You did tell me to do that. I'm excited too.
I think I always have said Westy should have won that one. I think after rewatching it a couple weeks ago, Soren Kelshin should have won that tournament.
So is this your early pick? Are you getting out in front of it?
Well,
Schwab
I actually was thinking
year.
about this. This is how much my brain's broken. I think there's like a Champs Tour archetype. And I think Soren Kelshin, it just fits the bill. Like these guys, like none of like the guys you think are just going to go like kill up there. They're all like steady. They're all steady players.
Yeah.
Like Stricker, Longer. Like they're just like, they're consistent. They aren't clinical. Like, they don't overpower places. Like they are like the guys that were just like sensational, like steady players. And then they get there and they dominate. So maybe Soren Kelshin is it.
All right. We should note, by the way, events are going live. We're going to do it after CFP minute here. Our events, our Bermuda trips going live on 12/13.
If you're a Club TFE member,
Wednesday.
Club TFE member, you get a 24-hour head start.
So Mid-Ocean event at Mid-Ocean Club. And then
if you really want to get into any of the events, it's
sources close to Mid-Ocean say we have a very good time of year to go there. That it's very nice and breezy and calm. Or cool, I should say. So that's going to be noon Eastern, Mid-Ocean Club, Bermuda. And Club TFE gets 1 day ahead of the open registration. We will be back Wednesday with another live We're doing live year in review. So that'll actually be Tuesday recording for the Wednesday episode.
Was it 10? What are we doing? 1 p.m. Eastern?
1 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesday, we'll do a live recording. We're doing the Masters, and the events around the Masters will be the next installment of Year in Review. And I think we're just cooking Year in Review from here on out every episode, I believe, unless something crazy.
Maybe
happens,
some CFP minute. We might be a college football podcast now.
We might. We're gonna get for that.
As we wrap here, I think we're gonna need a lot of NYGC advertising money because Juan Soto is the New York Met.
Oh, congratulations, PJ.
Did that just happen?
15 for 765.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Are you excited about that?
Yes. I am excited about that. I don't really I'm not like functioning as a human being right now.
It just happened 2 minutes ago.
Happy
Jeff Passett. Wow. That's just picks you up from the Jets the last month or two.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, this is great. This is great stuff.
What a late breaking news. All right.
A happy boy.
I'm happy for you.
Victory Monday for PJ.
I will never have a bigger Victory Monday than this. Check back next October.
You're going to have a bigger Victory Monday than this in your life. Yeah.
765.
All right. Congratulations.
All right. Everyone enjoy your Mondays. We'll be back with you Tuesday live or Wednesday year in review episode. Talk to you then.